First, we see coming down the aisle a procession of animals, rocks, trees, waterfalls, as directed by brilliant Emma Stearns. And last, Calliope, who is weeping.
You
You
want
want
heartache?
heartache? You want
heartbreak?
You want gut
wrench?
wrench?
Not
Soul fear, grief and gloom, lover's doom. Oh, woe, oh, woe. For super star-crossed lovers go
Past Juliet
Juliet
and
and
Romeo,
Romeo
way
way
back
back
to
to
ancient
ancient
Greece.
Greece.
The
The
tragedy
tragedy,
of
Orpheus,
and
and Eurydice.
Now that we're assembled, who'll tell the story? What about you, Auntie Clio? You're the muse of history. You keep track of things.
Well, not everything. When he was born, baby Orpheus was our darling, our wonder child. My sisters and I, the muses, played with him and sang to him and told him stories.
I, Father Oak, was Eurydice's guardian. I nurtured and sheltered her within my branches. I'm here to speak for the trees, the flowers, and shrubs.
We,
We, Iggy,
Iggy,
Morph,
Morph,
and
and Salty,
Salty,
we're
we're the
the
rock
rock
and
and
rollers.
rollers.
We
We three
three
were
were
here
here
since
since
the
the
very
very
first
start.
start. We
We
may
may
be
be
rocks,
but we've got heart.
There ain't anything we won't do for our boy Orpheus. We love him too.
I, Gray Fox, speak for the animals of the forests. But see, Calliope, Orpheus's mother, still weeps. Maybe it will
Will
ease your pain
pain
to
to tell
tell
the
the
tale.
tale.
Please,
Please,
Calliope,
share
share your
your grief.
grief. Tell the powerful story of the agony of
Of
loss
loss and
and true love's glory. Very well. But all of you, please help me. Where do I begin?
at the beginning.
Oh, what a darling child he was, adored by all. His lilting voice echoed in Parnassus's hall. He was his dad, Apollo's pride and joy, and Apollo gave our son a new toy, a lyre, strung with a strand of Apollo's own fair hair.
So divinely gifted was our lad that in a day with ease he played his lyre, and on Parnassus hill he did not tire.
Played until the stars had joined the throng, and moonlight danced upon his crib and joined his song.
We, the natural world, all listened, and we were enchanted by his music.
Rivers changed their courses, flowing near.
Big old boulders thundered down mountains,
Bumpity,
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 bump,
bumpity, then paused in wonder and
and in
praise.
praise. Whales spouted.
Dolphins leapt merrily in the sea.
Tide itself flowed forth to foam beneath his feet.
Great forests
Trees with birds in their nests,
bent down to listen,
animate
animate
and
and inanimate.
inanimate,
All
all were
were enthralled,
enthralled, rejoicing together at Orpheus's melodies. What about Eurydice? Tell us about her.
Eurydice was a dryad, a nymph of trees and woodlands. High great oak watched over her. Eurydice was graceful, very beautiful, but she was very shy.
One night,
The summer solstice,
the forest folk gathered to celebrate the shortest night of the year.
we invited Orpheus to play his joyful music.
Orpheus played,
Eurydice danced, and when Eurydice danced to Orpheus's music, she slipped in and out of the shadows and was as lovely and graceful as a moonbeam. Beautiful nymph, I see you. At first I thought you were a bit of moonlight, but now I see you are a girl.
I see you. I've always listened to you. Your music makes my heart dance.
Your dancing is like wind on water.
It was as simple as that. At first sight, they fell in love. It seemed to Orpheus and Eurydice that they'd known each other all their lives. Yet, each new disclosure was a miracle.
What's your favorite flower?
The garden? What's your favorite color?
The rainbow. Who do you love?
Hmm, who do you love?
I
I
love
love you.
you.
My son asked Eurydice to be his wife, and soon they were to be married.
My sisters and I were thrilled,
Eurydice would be a wonderful daughter-in-law.
and we were all so proud and happy. At first, Orpheus asked his husband, Hymen, god of marriage, to bless the union.
At first, Hymen didn't even reply, and then, reluctantly, he agreed.
He was our relative, after all.
On the day of the wedding, Hymen was late.
And in a terrible mood.
And, worst of all, during the ceremony, his marriage lamp smoked. Eyes burned and noxious black fumes choked us all.
Bad
Bad
omen.
omen.
Still, the two were happily wed, and our boy Orpheus' music, now inspired by love, rang out through the woods and streams and fields. No one could foresee what lay ahead, so we rejoiced at such a union, blessed by all.
Not all. Not we two.
Orpheus is my half brother, so they say. So why has fate thrown all her luck his way? I'm just a farmer, a keeper of bees, while Orpheus, despised by me, has won the prize. I'd kill and will for fair Eurydice, but she's in love with him, no thought for me.
All of us snaked in a pretty bad rap. And who am I not to tap into that? Since Eve and the apple and Cleopatra's adder, we're proud to be nasty, bad, evil, and badder. Call me adder, cobra, and copperhead. They're all the same. One strike from vipers, one poisonous strike. You're dead. I'm a mean girl in spades, malicious and vile. I can trick anyone. See my dazzling smile?
So what's your plan?
Don't worry, I've got lots of tricks up my sleeve.
Bound in hate,
Bound by envy, spite, ill will.
we make a perfect pair.
Let's conspire to set a trap with results both grave and dire.
My plan? I'll tell you guys, but not Miss Nasty. I'll lie in wait until those two I see. Then I'll kill Orpheus, and Eurydice will console herself with me.
He exits. You want to know my plan? I'll tell you guys, but not a word to you know who. I'll pretend to be Eurydice's friend. Instead, I'll be the depth of her. So silky and seductive will I be, the foolish, trusting Eurydice. She'll never. What a fool is she. What's. You're sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
That's okay. I just didn't see you.
Sorry, so sorry. It's just I've been admiring you for like forever. What kind of makeup do you use? Oh, I bet you don't use any, not even mascara. All my girlfriends and I have been talking about your dancing and your shiny hair. Is it a special conditioner? Please tell.
No, no. You flatter me.
No, it's true. All my friends and I, idolize you. You should be a model. I've never seen one prettier than you.
You're pretty too, especially in green. And how do you stay so slender? What is your name?
Everyone in my family is slim, lanky, and alive. It's us. I have tons of names, but you can call me V.
You mean V, like in vegetable? And vow? Marriage vow?
Yes, marriage vow, and vile, and venom, and um, I'd love to have a friend like you. I know you must have lots and lots of friends. Probably you don't need another one. At least one like me.
No, no, of course not, Dee. I'm glad to be your friend.
Well then, let's hook pinkies.
I guess so. Okay.
Besties forever. G and Eurydice. GSB. If you're ever in trouble, you can count on me.
Unaware that a plot was in place
Mm.
to destroy them, the newlyweds were blissful. Every evening they'd watch the stars travel across the sky, and every morning, while Orpheus composed his music, Eurydice would walk through the woodland, gathering flowers or mushrooms and herbs for their supper.
On such a morning, Antaeus lay in wait. His plan?
To seize Eurydice for my own and kill Orpheus. Over this way, pretty girl. Come on.
I don't know you. What do you want?
Come on over here, lovely one, and Antaeus will show you.
But
We
we called out a
warning.
warning. He's up to no good. Run, Eurydice, run! That evil Antaeus released his hive of bees to frighten, to terrorize, to bring her to her knees. And as fast as she can, Eurydice flees. Orpheus, help! Antaeus holding his bees on wire. In front of him, Eurydice running in place. Scary music, light flash if possible.
Then she heard what she thought was a friendly voice.
See, here, run to me. I swore I'd take care of you. Besties, remember. Trust me, Eurydice. Don't surrender.
Trying to escape from the hive of bees, Eurydice ran pell-mell. Then into Viper's lair she stumbled and fell.
Don't fear the sting of a honeybee. Here's a lethal sting from me. Me.
Viper drove her fangs into Eurydice's heel, filling her with venom.
Kiss me.
Orpheus sped to her side as
Poison rushed through her body.
and Eurydice fell dead.
Now, Orpheus, see me.
You! It was you!
With one thrust of his dagger, Orpheus slew Viper, the betrayer. Antaeus, seeing Eurydice fall, saw that there was no chance at all for him, and never was heard of again.
Eurydice! Eurydice, no, come back to me! My dearest, my sweetheart, my darling, my wife, you take my heart with you, and my life.
Shades enter, cover Eurydice with a black veil, and slow motion exit with her. Eurydice is limping. Orpheus remains by her body until the end of the scene. The shades are invisible to him. Come now, Eurydice, come with the shades to go to the world below. You're no longer free to walk in the light. It's darkness only you'll know. The shades spirited Eurydice way deep down into the bowels of the earth.
To the underworld,
Cross the river Styx,
and the river Lethe, where she drank of the waters,
and then to the sunless kingdom,
ruled by Hades, prince of darkness.
and by Persephone, his wife.
Would you like to rest, Eurydice? Your foot must hurt. That was some snake bite.
Thank you. Yes. Snake bite? Is that what happened? It's all it's all fuzzy in my head.
You've drunk water from Lethe, the river of forgetfulness. Your earthly memories are erased.
And am I now like you?
A shade. Yes, we understand how it is to be. Lonely, scared, not knowing what to expect.
Is it always dark here?
Always dark. There is no morning. There is no sun. Everything is black. Everything is gray. It's dark as midnight. There's no such thing as day. What we wouldn't do for a little bit of color, like red. Any chance you might remember it? Red?
Red, no. No, what is that, Red?
She can't remember. No use trying. It hasn't been that long since she drank Leafy's water. I'll try again. What about blue or yellow? Anything?
Yellow, blue. I think once I knew, but now all is darkness.
Never mind. You're with us now and forever, Eurydice. We, once living, are shades now, shades of the dead. Come, walk among us.
Bum, 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 bum. On
Earth,
earth,
silence
silence
swept
swept
the
the
land.
land. Profound silence, heavy and dense.
No bird sang.
No fox cried out.
The wind died.
Tide ceased at its ebb.
The only sound? Orpheus's weeping.
Despondent now, he cast his lyre away.
I won't need that ever again. Eurydice has taken my music with her.
I waited as long as I could for his grief to subside, but finally I couldn't wait any longer. My son, our hearts are broken. We loved Eurydice too, but since you're grieving, you must go to the underworld and bring her back.
That's impossible. No one who goes to the underworld can return.
Dear nephew, you have done the impossible before. Remember when you sailed with the Argonauts? Remember your music saved Jason and all those heroes from the sirens. And the dragon guarding the golden fleece? You put him to sleep. With
With music,
music,
your
your
superpower.
superpower.
Here's your lyre. We mended it for you. You'll need it. Yes. Hear me, gods of Olympus. Hear me, Hades, prince of darkness. Music is stronger than death. Love is stronger than death. I will travel to the underworld. I will bring Eurydice back.
The natural world, not forgotten its love for Orpheus.
As he neared Avernus, the deep chasm which led to the steep spiral staircase leading to
The
the underworld,
underworld,
huge boulders split to allow him passage.
foul air turned sweet.
Tree roots parted.
Moss softened the ground beneath his feet.
Black stars glittered as the steep path wound.
Down and around, until at last Orpheus reached the gate of Hades itself. Guarded by the dog, Cerberus. Shaggy, slobbering, slathering, three-headed Cerberus.
What do you got for me to eat? A leg of lamb would be so sweet, or some other ginormous hunk of meat. What if instead I play you a tune? It goes like this.
And we hear doggy lullaby here.
And Cerberus began to dance, then to sway, dreaming of his three-headed puppy days, and of juicy bones and squirrels to chase. Then, tuckered out, he fell asleep, snoring at Orpheus's feet.
When he came to the river Styx, fathoms deep with treacherous currents and black as pitch, Orpheus was met by the swarthy ferryman Charon.
Don't take Visa or MasterCard. Don't take a check. Don't take cash. Don't take the living. You gotta be dead.
What about music? You like music?
Hate it, despise it, don't even like it.
But this is a song about you. Oh, you go ahead.
I've sailed with Jason and the Argonauts. And Karen, you're the best at navigating, steering, finding the wind on the river Styx. You know every bend. You're the best man I'll ever meet. So row on, Karen, skipper, row on. You're the best commander in Hades' fleet. Climb on board, friend, no charge.
As he neared Hades' palace, Orpheus's music rang through the caverns, penetrated the gloom as he played of a world beyond the tomb.
Orpheus played as never before. His music deepened and made more beautiful by his desperate love for his lost Eurydice.
But he did not play with sadness, loss, remorse. No, instead, with his music, Orpheus took those who listened to a place of poetry, love, magic. The tomb of Hades was filled with the memory of life sublime.
Cerberus danced again, standing on two of his legs, and kept time with his paws.
And lay down his oars to listen.
Each resident heard something different.
Tantalus dreamed of a long drink of water.
Hecate, goddess of witchcraft, of Halloween candy.
Sisyphus of a massage and a nice sleep.
The Furies of peace.
Soldiers killed in battle dreamed of victories.
The Shades dreamt of rainbows. What is all the hullabaloo? What in Hades is going on here?
I come to ask a favor, your lordship. My name is.
I know who you are, son of Apollo. You have no status here. Now go home while you still can.
But my wife, Eurydice. She's not meant to be here. It was an accident. You must allow me to take it.
Don't use that word must with me. Shades, take him away.
Eurydice will be with you soon enough, as we all will. Not yet. Please, I beg you, not yet. I only want to borrow her. We were just married, just beginning. Music begins. Just married, says Persephone. Dear Hades, just beginning. Do you remember our wedding day? How happy we were? Our honeymoon?
How could I forget? Your shining face, your smile,
You were so nervous. You dropped the ring.
because I was looking at you, so beautiful in that yellow dress, the same color as the flowers you were picking the first day I saw you.
Perhaps, young Orpheus, you can play that memory.
Orpheus touched his lyre,
And summoned the magical sound of a day in spring.
and a maiden picking narcissus,
Her dress was the color of the sun.
and the flower. As Hades listened to the music, he remembered once more.
The powerful feeling that had swept over him. You and I, Lord Hades, share a bond. We have both felt, still feel, the force of deep and abiding love. If the tale I've heard is true, Lord Hades, you too owe obeisance to Eros.
Yes, it's true. I also was wounded by the arrow of love. Bring in Eurydice.
They bring her in and start to remove her black veil.
Wait, leave the veil. Orpheus, you may take her silent spirit. She will regain her form once you've reached the kingdom above. But there is a condition.
State the condition, your lordship.
Eurydice will follow you. You must trust that she will follow you. But you must not look back. One look, one glimpse, and she will return to me forever. Now go before I change my mind.
Orpheus and Eurydice reached out their hands toward each other, but did not.
Their eyes spoke of the love that was in their heart.
Then Orpheus turned to go.
Eurydice silently followed. The
The
return
return
journey
journey
was
was
agonizing.
agonizing.
Sulfuric
Sulfuric fumes
fumes
rose
rose
from
from every
every
crevice.
crevice.
Phantoms
Phantoms
blocked
blocked
their
their
way.
way.
The
The
path
path
seemed
seemed
steeper,
steeper, the rock sharper, the darkness more impenetrable. Calm himself and to stay focused, Orpheus called out to Eurydice, even though she was forbidden to answer.
Are you still there, my dearest? Be careful. The path is treacherous. Are you there? Do I hear her footsteps? No, her footsteps are silent. Do I hear her breathing? Eurydice, Eurydice, dare I call your name? Must not glance, must not peek, must not look. She's forbidden to speak. But do I hear a footstep? I thought I heard a footstep. Do I hear her breathing? I thought I heard her breathing. What if she's not there? Maybe she's not there. Maybe it's a trick. Could it be a trick? Could Hades be deceiving me? What if he's deceiving me? I must check. I must look. One quick look. Must not look. Breathe, Orpheus. Think of something else. Think of earthly things. Think of the garden we planted, how it's growing, our little home, our fireplace, warmth, sunlight, how happy we'll be, the plans we'll make, the journeys we'll take, our children, how many, our adventures, our dreams.
Suddenly, through a cleft in the rock, Orpheus saw a shaft, golden shaft of light.
It's Helios, it's the sun. He's come to welcome us back. Eurydice, you must come, you must see. Come, Eurydice, our journey is done. Let's go together to meet the sun.
Consumed by joy, Orpheus turned.
With her injured foot, Eurydice had fallen steps behind Orpheus.
Eurydice was still
Still
in
dark.
darkness. Orpheus reached out his arms to embrace her,
But there was only emptiness.
and the unresisting air.
Eurydice spoke only a faint
Farewell.
and fell once more into the abyss of the dead.
She crawls backwards or is pulled back by the shades, lost to Orpheus
Forever.
forever.
They say he wept several months for her.
Then a group of wild women called the Minyades couldn't bear that Orpheus, who had played so eloquently of love, didn't love them. Instead, he scorned them. In a fit of jealousy, they destroyed him.
His aunties, the Muses, buried his body on Parnassus.
But Orpheus's soul sped to Hades
To
to
be
be
reunited
reunited with
Eurydice.
Eurydice throughout eternity. In his despair, my son had once again thrust away his lyre, and once again I, Calliope, found it. My sisters and I carried it to the heavens, where it became constellation, Lyra, in the Ring Nebula. You yourself can see it on a starry night, a celestial reminder to all that
The
the
music
music
of
of love
love
is
is stronger than
than the end.